What's up guys, Justin here with the onlinebusinessessentials.com. So if you're anything like me, you're not really a graphic designer, but you need all sorts of graphics for your YouTube channel or your business or other things like that. I'm going to introduce you to a free tool that allows you to create all of those things online. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. So Canva is a website that basically simplifies the design creation process. It's a really easy to use design software that you can access online. Now it does have a paid and a free version. We'll talk about both, but you can start using this for absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything. You can use it forever for free as far as I know. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at what it can do. So Canva gives you the ability to create all sorts of different designs online. You can create them to basically any size that you want, but it has a ton of presets, which I think is where the real value of the software is. Though there are things that I use it for that have nothing to do with the presets. But for example, let's say that you needed to create like a YouTube thumbnail. Well, what you can do is you can actually click on the button to create a design, and that's going to give you the ability to search for different kinds of graphics. So in this case, I could type in YouTube thumbnail, right? And that's going to find different templates that it has inside that you can use in order to create those thumbnails. Now note that you can do other things, like tons of other things. Like for example, you can do Instagram posts. I've used this to create graphics for my different businesses online. There's just so much available in here. But let's go with the YouTube thumbnail for right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a new design, and I'm gonna do a YouTube thumbnail. So if we select that, what that's going to do is that's going to pop up the Canva editing space right here. And so the Canva editing space is going to be a space where you can basically bring things in from the menu over here on the right hand side, and you can use them inside of this space. So it's got different elements that you can use, as well as different text and other things like that. Now, one thing to be aware of in the very beginning is if you look at some of these text presets, some of them have the little crown next to them. That means if you subscribe to Canva Pro, then you get that template for free. So I personally do subscribe to Canva Pro just because it gives me access to so much more stuff inside of the library, but you absolutely do not have to do that in order to make this work. But really where the superpower of Canva is, at least in my opinion, is in this first section right here, the design section. What this has is this has a number of different templates in here that you can use for different things. So for example, these are all YouTube thumbnail templates that you can bring in and you can customize. So let's say, for example, that I wanted to use, we'll go with this crypto right here because it doesn't have a pro on it. Again, remember that some of these have the pro on them. That means those are premium templates, so you don't really have access to those. But you don't really need them, again, because there's so many free templates that are in here. So let's say, for example, that we wanted to create a thumbnail that looks like this. So I'm going to click on this. Well, notice what this is this is a pre-made thumbnail that is completely editable. So, for example, let's say that I wanted to create my thumbnail for this video. I could say use Canva for free, or whatever you want it to say, right? It doesn't have to say that. You can make it say whatever you want. But notice how these are completely editable. So you can edit things like your font size, you can edit where things are located inside of Canva, other things like that. And again, notice how they're really easy to use and edit. It's got all these cool lines that kind of help you snap things to make sure that they're aligned. Just a ton of different things like that. There's also a bunch of built-in fonts that you can use. So say that you didn't want this font right here, which it's actually a pretty good font, but let's say you wanted to change that, you can go in and you can adjust all of those things as well. Okay, so let's say that I wanted to replace this person with my own image. So you can go over to the uploads section and you can upload your own images. So in this case, I'm going to go to upload files, and I've got this image of myself that I can click on and I can add in. And it's not my favorite image in the world, but I think it works great for what we're trying to do here. So I can take this and I can resize it like this, and I can get rid of their template image right here. So you can use these templates with your own images like this inside of Canva. And one of the other cool things about this is you could also try different designs. So if I click on the add page right here, for this one, say we wanted to use this image right here. We could click in here and we could try that, and we could just kind of click through them and look at the way that they look in here. And again, they have all different kinds of thumbnails in here, so you can click back and forth between them just like this. And so we can get more in depth on some of these things in the future, but I wanted to give you an idea of how Canva can work. And so, like I said, I have used Canva for everything. I've used it to create logos. I create all sorts of different planning sheets, which we can talk about in a future video as well. But all of my planning for my videos, my monthly planning, my daily planning sheets that I use to plan my day, other things like that, I've created all of them in Canva. I've also created all of the graphics for my courses in Canva. And again, this is perfect for me because I'm not really a graphic designer, and so I can kind of build on top of things that they already have. And you can use all of their different images. Again, I personally am a big fan of the Pro because it gives me access to so many more templates, but it gives me access to other things as well. So not only can Canva help you create designs, by the way, it can create videos as well. And so one of the reasons that I like the Pro version is it gives me the ability to save my brand tools. So what this does is it allows you to save your different logos that are associated with your brand as well as your colors. And so when you're working with your colors, when you're using the Pro version, it'll save those colors. And then if you want to use them, so let's say, for example, I wanted to change the font, and I wouldn't actually do this, but let's say that I wanted to change this font to my blue color for my brand kit. Well, I can just select it, and when I click on the color button, notice how my brand is going to pop up in here. And so when my brand pops up, this gives me all of the colors that I usually use inside of my brand. So it gives me easy and fast access to that. So that's a Pro feature that I really like. You don't need Pro, but it's something that I use a lot. So in addition to that, you also have the content planner. And so this can actually schedule social posts. And so the content planner, again, is another Pro version, but I do want to give you an idea of what Canva is capable of. It gives you the ability to create different posts, and you can actually schedule them and link it to your social accounts, and it'll post those for you. So I've used this to post ads to my social media before with different graphics that all live inside of Canva. So that's a really powerful tool. And so I've also seen people actually use Canva as their presentation tool. So you can create a presentation and you can do a present and record, and you can record yourself talking over these different slides. So I've actually seen people use this as the tool for their content creation online. Personally, I don't usually need to do that because I mostly work with software, and so I'm kind of screen sharing anyway, but it can be a really powerful and also free way in order to start creating content online using more professional formats that you don't have to come up with yourself. So you can also use the mockups feature down below to create mock-ups for how your designs might look in different places like smartphones or tablets or other things like that. So you can absolutely use Canva for free and get a ton of value out of it. Now there are a few things that you may not do with Canva, like if you're doing like advanced masking of images or other things like that. There is an auto mask feature, which is really cool, which we'll talk about in a future video. But if you're doing that advanced photo editing, you might find yourself moving over into a Photoshop or a Photo P or something like that. But overall, Canva is a fantastic tool that I've used for all sorts of different things. I highly recommend that you go check it out. I will link to that in the notes down below this video. All right, so I will link to Canva in the notes down below. Note that if you do end up with the Pro version, that is an affiliate link. I always want to be upfront about that, but you can use Canva for free without getting the Pro version. Get a ton of value out of it. Leave a comment below. Let me know what kind of Canva tutorials you'd like to see in the future. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.